Hey guys, Mr. McSweeney here to help you with recording video and audio. So as you're thinking about your next upcoming project, whatever that is, maybe it's an audition, maybe it's a video project for a class, you want to start producing the best quality content that you can. Audio and video are wonderful mediums, either separately or when you merge them together. The problem is, if one of them is done poorly, it can ruin the entire experience of your viewer or anyone in the audience. You want to make sure that you're doing a few things right. So what we want to talk about is your lighting, what you're using to film, what you're using to record with, and your space when you're thinking about what it looks like behind you, what your set is, and also the acoustics of the room. So let's start with lighting first. Lighting is going to have the most impact on a video or photography. That's literally what this medium is based off of. If you think of photography, the root word for photo comes from photo, meaning light. So you want to think of your video capture, your photography capture, as capturing some sort of image based on where the light is relative to that subject. For me, a small lesson on videography would be knowing where your key light is. Your key light is your principal light. So off to my left, I have a giant light source. It is set up at about 45-degree angle to my body, which is kind of ideal for what you want. It's not set dead on because I don't want the light covering my full face. I like a little bit of shadow on this. Kind of sets a tone for a more serious, moody video, and I really like that look. Wherever your key light is going to influence how the subject looks, how your audience views you, and is going to change the overall composition of the frame. So think about where you're getting your primary, principal, key light source from. If you don't have a giant light like I do, in the Innovation Lab you can get smaller lights. For instance, we have those little soft boxes over there, which are phenomenal. I've made hundreds of videos using those, and they are perfect. Those tall rectangles are really good for filling up the entire person. If you don't have access to any of this, that's fine. You can always just go sit in front of a window. In fact, a window on a cloudy day is probably the best, softest, most beautiful light you can get. The color temperature is important. I try to get as close to daylight. If you don't know what that means, you can sometimes look at light bulbs and they'll tell you what kind of Kelvin temperature they are. You always want to look for 5500 K, and that will give you the most natural looking light that you can have. Some other fun lighting elements are practicals. I have a bunch of practicals behind me, like the lamps. They just add some interest. They don't really serve much purpose other than to illuminate the background and make something interesting. I also have my big light tube over in that corner, which I just think looks dope. It's got real no purpose other than just to look cool. Some of you might want to try something more advanced, and you can get a kicker light or a hair light. Sometimes they're called. I don't have hair, so I don't like calling it a hair light, but that's just a light that's kind of behind you or above up on the ceiling. It's casting down light, kind of hitting my shoulder or your hair. And what that does is that pulls you off the background, creates more dimension, and makes something a little bit more 3D. I love having space behind me. I think it adds depth and an element of interest in the video. I do not like filming in front of a wall where I'm backed up against the wall. It makes me feel really claustrophobic, and it makes your viewer feel claustrophobic as well. So try to find a way where you can pull yourself off and create some distance from the wall. All of that is wrapped up in where you're placing your light. So think through that. Let's talk about audio capture. Right now, I'm going to come off of my Yeti mic, which I'm recording my audio on, and I will show you what it sounds like on just the camera mic that I'm using. So this is the camera mic. You can tell a difference. It is the Sony camera. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. So I'll go back to the Yeti, and now you can hear there's a lot more richness and depth, and the audio capture is a lot more accurate to what I want. So think about what kind of microphone you're using. The microphones in the MacBooks are decent. I wouldn't say they're the greatest thing. I wouldn't say they're studio quality, but they're way better than what there used to be. Also in the Innovation Lab, we have Snowball mics, which are back on that table. Those are phenomenal. They're really good. They have nice big capture devices inside, and that will help increase the quality of your audio because you are working so hard you might as well capture with the best accuracy and representation that you can. I'd hate for you to work this hard and then capture something that is not representative of your true ability level. If there was one thing you could do to make your audio sound better, it would be to put a carpet underneath you. So if you're in a room that is barren and there's nothing there, find something soft, a towel, a big comforter, anything, and put it on the floor. That is going to dampen the sound the most effectively. Thinking about your space, how are you going to design your space to make it interesting without being distracting? How are you going to film? I like to film at eye level with a little bit of head space up top and lots of space on the sides. I just make that, I think it kind of makes it feel like you're here with me, actually talking to me. So I'm actually recording at eye level, and again, it's just to make it seem like we're actually just having this conversation. If you film just with your laptop and your laptop's looking up at you, you seem very imposing on the screen. And again, if you film really high looking down, then you're demonetizing yourself, and it makes you look small and weak. And that's not the case. You're a beast. So let's do a good, accurate representation. So if you don't have a fancy camera or a fancy microphone, you might have an iPhone, or maybe someone in your family has an iPhone. This, what you're seeing and what you're hearing, is an iPhone 12, and it's an iPhone 12 mini. Looks great, sounds great, and we can mess with the colors and the sounds and just adjust it to make sure it comes out exactly how you want. So I wanted to show you a different view rather than defaulting to the MacBook potato camera, because that thing's just terrible. Don't use it. So while you're thinking about your space, where your camera is, where's your mic, a good rule of thumb for your mic is to have it about a foot away. Mine's a little bit more, and that's okay because I have the gain up. The gain is how sensitive the mic is. So it is gonna pick me up. It's gonna pick up some of the humming in the room. I can't change that because there's an air conditioner right there, which kind of stinks. I just can't do anything about it. If you wanna start messing with the audio a little bit and getting rid of any echoes, then you can put carpets on the floor. You can film in a room with carpets, a room with drapes. Actually, recording audio in a closet with all of the clothing around is probably the best thing you can possibly do, because that is going to dampen the sound waves, the waveforms that are bouncing all over the room. Right now, my disadvantage is that when I talk, my whiteboard is right there, right behind this camera, about 2 feet. So when I talk, my waveforms leave me, bounce off that wall, and come back, and they can get picked up in the mic again. It's not ideal, but I like this look the best, and I can kind of figure out how to make it manageable. Do yourself a favor, capture it the right way the first time. Don't get distracted, don't get frustrated. Let the camera roll, let the mic roll. You can edit it later. Don't do 50 different stops. Just keep it going. When you go to edit all this, try to put it together in a way that is going to highlight and showcase your abilities, whatever they are. If it's for an audition, then showcase how well you're working. Don't let the video or the audio be a distraction. If it's for a project, don't let the video and audio be a distraction. Let it complement your skills that you're already building. Take time to set up where your light is, where you're filming, what direction you're filming in, what's around you. Be really thoughtful about how you want to film your video. It will make a big difference, and the final product is going to really impress. You're all amazing students, and we love working with you. If anyone in the Innovation Lab can help, just come and see us. I know I'm not really part of the Innovation Lab, but I am passionate about audio and video. You got this. We believe in you. I hope this video helps, and good luck.